A very good afternoon and thank you for joining us on Beetv News Updates at 3. I am Ruth Obodo and now the news in detail. Edo State Governor Senator Monday Okpebolo has approved a minor reshuffle in the Edo State Executive Council as part of ongoing efforts to strengthen governance, enhance service delivery, and promote greater efficiency in the administration of state affairs. The latest reshuffle sees Barrister Vincent Osas Uwadia, the present Commissioner for Oil and Gas Resources, redeployed to the Ministry of Lands and Housing as Commissioner, while the Quebec Commissioner for Lands and Housing, Honorable Yakubu Oshorenwa Musa, is now appointed as the new Chief of Staff to the Governor's Office, while Honorable Gani Awudu, the Chief of Staff to the Governor, is nominated to resume as Commissioner for Oil and Gas Resources, subject to confirmation by the Edo State House of Assembly. This minor cabinet reshuffle takes effect from 30th of January 2026, according to a statement signed by Umar Musa Ikilo, Esquire, Secretary to the State Government. Governor Okpebolo expressed confidence that these strategic adjustments will further enhance coordination, policy implementation, and effective governance in Edo State. The First Lady of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has encouraged young Nigerians to dream big and work patiently towards their goals, rather than focusing solely on wealth. She made the remarks during a visit to Obafemi Awolowo University, where she donated 50 CNG-powered shuttle buses and 30 tricos to improve campus transportations. This report is presented by Favour Kulawole.
Senator Oluremi Tinubu received a warm welcome from traditional rulers led by the Ooni of Ife, OAU management headed by Vice-Chancellor Professor Simon Bamire, wives of some state governors and other dignitaries. She proceeded to cut the ribbon for the presentation of the buses and tricycles, which will be used by students on campus. Professor Bamire thanked the First Lady and assured that the vehicles will be put to judicious use.
The vehicles are already in good hands that are going to manage the usage of the vehicle. And I want to assure you that these vehicles will be used in such a way that when the First Lady happens to come again at any point in time, she will be very, very grateful and happy that she had actually made a donation to our alma mater.
The management, the students' union, we've been having a series of meetings over the past few weeks on how the operation of these vehicles will be. And as such, I can assure that we'll have a well-managed transportation on campus.
Professor Simon Bamire, Vice-Chancellor of OAU, said the donation would significantly ease transportation challenges for students and staff, enhancing mobility on campus. Following the presentation, the First Lady commissioned the Senator Oluremi Tinubu meeting with Dream Center, a digital hub aimed at nurturing young people's aspirations and providing opportunities for skills development and creativity.
So I want to encourage our young people, young men and ladies, dream big and work that dream. Patiently work the dream. Rome wasn't built in a day. And I pray that my story in that Dream Center would inspire you to have your own dreams.
We gathered here to commission something new and unique. The fusion of digital technology, artificial intelligence, and storytelling to preserve our history.
At the event, the Ooni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Enitson Ogunwusi, said the Dream Center, equipped with modern digital technology, is designed to preserve history and inspire young people with practical guidance, mentorship, and insights. Zainab
A Department of State Services operative told the Federal High Court in Abuja that some victims rescued from the 2022 Abuja-Kaduna train attack lodged formal complaints against alleged terrorist negotiator Tukmok Mamu. The disclosure came while the operative testified as the sixth prosecution witness in the ongoing terrorism trial. responding to questions from senior advocate John Usman. The witness, who gave testimony from behind a scene for security reasons, confirmed that the complaints, including one from the wife of the commandant in Jaji, were submitted in writing to the DSS. The court also heard that the DSS lawyer requested that the defense be restrained from probing questions that could reveal the identities of victims or witnesses in order to protect their safety and privacy. Vice President Shettima has stated that ongoing reforms under President Tinubu's administration are helping Nigeria regain the trust of the international community. He made the remark during the inaugural convocation of the Nigeria Procurement Certification Program at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. Highlighting the participation of foreign professionals in the program, the Vice President said this reflects growing global confidence in Nigeria's governance and institutional reforms. He emphasized that the initiative demonstrates the administration's commitment to transparency, accountability, and strengthening public sector standards.
On this day, we commemorate the 2,100 certified procurement professionals from Nigeria and around the globe.
In 2007, the Public Procurement Bill was signed into law, and Bureau of Public Procurement was established, and the population of procurement commenced by BPP with capacity building. There are other attempts, including the reformation of procurement cadre with ad hoc capacity building, including the conversion and induction program that commenced in 2008.
The House of Representative Committee on Public Procurement strongly supports initiatives that professionalize procurement, embed environmental and social safeguards, and align Nigeria with international standards. This program is a clear demonstration of what effective collaboration between government and development partners can achieve.
Round of applause. Thank you so much.
Governor Ayedatiwa has called on the All Progressive Congress to continue evolving as a party where rules are clear, processes are credible, and participation is guaranteed. He made the remarks during the national public hearing on the amendment of the APC constitution held at the Government House in Akure. The governor emphasized that strong institutions and adherence to due process are essential for sustaining the party's success and maintaining public confidence. He also reiterated the state's commitment to the founding ideas of the APC.
Mind, disciplined judgment, and a deep sense of historic responsibility.
It's good for a political party is to serve the aspiration of the people. So what our president is doing is to serve the aspiration of Nigerians. So the constitution is to make sure that our party is well sealed together. You know, a house that is not divided will not have problems. So that's the essence, so that we can be together. If we can't manage political parties, you cannot manage the country.
And this is one of the fantastic things about the Tinubu government. A lot of people take it for weakness. It's not weakness. This government is willing to look at things, to give a second look, to give a third look to things, and is flexible insofar as those things serve the best interest of the ordinary.
Nigeria reported 39 new Lassa fever cases in week 3 of 2026, up from 33 from the previous week. Since the start of the year, 405 suspected cases have been recorded, with 93 confirmed infections and 17 deaths, putting the case fatality rate at roughly 18%. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control noted that infections were reported across 8 states, with 4, Bauchi, Ondo, Taraba, and Edo, accounting for nearly 90% of confirmed cases. Bauchi alone represents almost half of the total infections. Young adults aged 21 to 30 are the most affected, with a male to female ratio of 1.6. 4 healthcare workers were also infected, raising concerns about infection control in medical facilities. In response, the federal government has activated the National Lassa Fever Incident Management System to coordinate efforts across multiple sectors and strengthen nationwide response measures. The Independent National Electoral Commission has called on traditional rulers in Ekiti State to support efforts to conduct a free, fair, and credible governorship election. The appeal was made during a meeting with the State Council of Traditional Rulers. INEC has completed plans to decentralize continuous voters registration to ward levels, making it more accessible for residents. The Commission is also working closely with security agencies and other key stakeholders to ensure a smooth and incident-free election across all 177 wards in the state.
Who have attained the age of 18, as well as those who previously unable to register, have the opportunity to be included in the National Register of Voters.
We've never had any problem in it, and we're going to maintain that. All the royal fathers here are in it together, and this year's election will not be an exception. It will be peaceful, and it will be accepted by all. So we assure you of our support.
The Akwa Ibom state government is pursuing the revitalization of Oron's marine and commercial sector. The initiative is part of efforts to restore the area's historical role as a major hub for trade and maritime activities. The ongoing Oron Maritime Terminal project includes shore protection, warehouses, and a recreational facility. It is expected to enhance marine operation, unlock local economic potential, and generate opportunities for investment, trade, and employment across the state.
Match what I see on paper with what is on the ground to be able to know what to do. But from what I've seen, I don't want to make the contractor very happy. I think it's fair, but look, we must give it to him. He's doing a good job. You know, no more will people come here and tell our fishermen, you know, it's night. If you don't sell now, your fish will go bad. No, they have a quorum. And when we finish, we intend to, the military will be somewhere here, so we intend to now work with the cooperative, Bureau of Cooperative, to empower our fishermen.
The Nigeria Senate has set up a 7-member ad hoc committee to review and harmonize lawmakers' inputs on the proposed 2026 amendments to the Electoral Act. The move follows a closed-off section to examine the bill in detail, as the Senate seeks to strengthen Nigeria's electoral framework ahead of the 2027 general election. The committee has 3 days to complete its assignment and submit a consolidated report. Key members include the chairman of the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters, along with Adamu Alero, Aminu Tambuwa, Adams Oshomole, Danjuma Joje, Tony Uwoye, and Titus Zam. The bill aims to enhance electoral integrity, boost transparency, and increase public confidence in the voting process. Reforms include stifle penalties for electoral offences such as vote buying and result falsification, electronic voter identification and transmission of results, recognition of prisoners' voting rights, standardization of party primaries, and timely release of election funds, all designed to ensure credible, secure, and transparent elections for the 2027 polls.
To ensure that we begin the consideration of the Electoral Act Amendment report, which was earlier laid before us last year. Then the second leg of the motion is that we stand down all the other items to enable us to concentrate on this Electoral Act because of its sensitivity and importance to the transparency of our electoral process, which has already begun this year and will culminate in election next year. Those in support of the 2 motions say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
The All Progressive Congress governorship candidate for the August 8th election in Osun State, Oyebanji, has denied circulating any blueprint for the state's economic development. He said he plans to consult widely with party leaders and relevant stakeholders before making any decisions on development plans. The report.
The APC has continued to gain momentum ahead of the election, with party supporters organizing structures to back Oyebanji's campaign. During a gathering of party members, participants pledged to work for the party's victory, signaling growing enthusiasm and grassroots support across the state.
I want to tell you the reality. The All Ajisope Development Initiative ready to work for Honorable Munirudin Ambo. All the local governments in Osun State, we are ready to deliver for APC.
Since one already, you can see for yourself that the other contending parties are going into extinction, and a large portion of them are already joining our party.
Addressing the crowd, Oyebanji emphasized that the party is gaining strength by the day, describing the developments as positive signals ahead of the election. He reiterated that reports claiming he had released an economic blueprint were false, urging members to focus on strengthening the party and preparing for the polls.
Collapsing Ajisope Group to APC today, it is a glory, it is something that is good for us, and it's a plus for us. So we are grateful to God, we are grateful to them. We read it in the social media that the APC candidate, Aswaju Munirudin Bola Oyebamiji, released his blueprint or manifesto. That was a big lie. It wasn't true. And by the time we release our blueprint, everybody will see it, and they will see substance. They will see reliability. They will see government as in government. They will see a group and a party that is serious, that is a government of the people, for the people, and by the people.
The candidate further encouraged party members to prioritize the ongoing registration exercise, stressing the importance of unity, active participation, and adherence to due process in ensuring a credible and successful election. Zainab Mohammed reporting for Beetv News.
And now to the business news. Domestic borrowing by the federal government soared sharply in 2025, rising by 9.19 trillion, while credit to the private sector contracted by 1.54 trillion, according to money and credit statistics from the Central Bank of Nigeria. The development widened the gap between public and private sector access to credit, reflecting intense fiscal pressures and the impact of high interest rates on business borrowing. The reports.
CBN data shows that credit to the federal government rose from 25.03 trillion naira in January 2025 to 34.22 trillion by December, marking the largest annual increase in recent years. In contrast, private sector credit declined from 77.38 trillion in Nigeria to 75.83 trillion at year-end. Economists attribute the divergence to a crowding out effect where increased government demand for funds limits banks' ability to lend to businesses. Analysts warn that sustained high interest rates, rising debt servicing costs, and heavy government borrowing could further weaken investments, job creation, and economic growth unless borrowing costs fall and revenue mobilization improves. Telecos plan over 1.4 trillion network expansion investment in 2026. Nigerian mobile network operators have committed to increasing infrastructure investment in 2026, planning to spend more than the over $1 billion invested in 2025. According to the Nigerian Communications Commission, the spending follows the deployment of more than 2,850 new network sites last year, which expanded coverage and strengthened 4G and 5G services nationwide. The NCC said the investments have already improved network performance with better download speeds and a narrowing quality gap between urban and rural areas, despite lingering challenges such as limited 5G availability and coverage gaps. The regulator expects higher capital expenditure in 2026 to enhance service reliability, expand rural connectivity, and support Nigerians' growing data demand. Logistics boom lifts carrier sector turnover to 248 billion naira. Nigeria's post and carrier sector recorded a turnover of 248.14 billion naira in the first 9 months of 2025, representing a 56.28% increase from the same period in 2024, driven by booming e-commerce, rising intrastate deliveries, and increased small-scale trade. Data from the transport and storage industry showed that strong activity in the first quarter was followed by slower performance in the rainy season months. Stakeholders say the sector's growth highlights its role as a key indicator of economic activity, linking producers, traders, and consumers. However, operators continue to face challenges including poor road infrastructure, high fuel costs, multiple taxes, unregulated competition, and limited access to affordable financing, with interest rates near 30% constraining expansion and service improvements. Zainab Mohammed reporting for Beetv News.
And now to the entertainment news. Two-time Grammy nominee Ara Starr has revealed that Afrobeat superstar Burna Boy is her top choice for a future collaboration. The singer made this known during a Billboard interview while discussing her 2026 Grammy nominations, describing Burna Boy as the artist she most wants to work with. The reports.
Ara Starr earned a Grammy nomination for Best African Music Performance for Jimmy Dat, her collaboration with Wizkid released in April 2025. She described the nomination as a moment of reassurance in her career, saying it affirmed her confidence and growth as an artist. The singer also spoke about the creative process behind the song, which samples 111 by Wyclef Jean and Mary J. Blake, noting she initially struggled vocally during recording. Ara Starr added that the track was first intended as a solo release before Wizkid joined. Looking ahead, she said she's working on new music, and a book added that global attention on African music shows it African's time. In another development, Nollywood actress Doris Ogala has alleged that her colleague Mercy Johnson prevented her from being cast in a movie at the peak of her career in 2012. Ogala claimed that filmmaker Ruth Kadiri told her that Mercy Johnson refused to act in any project that included her. Ogala said the revelation left her deeply emotional and led to a heated phone confrontation with Mercy Johnson. She added that since the incident, they have not met face-to-face again, apart from indirect industry-related encounters. As of the time of this report, Mercy Johnson and Ruth Kadiri have not publicly responded to the claims. Trinidad and Tobago born rapper Nicki Minaj has publicly declared herself as U.S. President Donald Trump's #1 fan while showing off her Trump's Gold Card visa, which offers wealthy immigrants permanent U.S. residency and a pathway to citizenship. Minaj, who moved to the U.S. as a child, praised Trump's leadership during an appearance in Washington, D.C., saying criticism will not deter her support. She shared images of the card on social media, noting it grants her unlimited right of residence in the U.S., though not automatic citizenship. The scheme has attracted criticism due to its timing and stricter immigration policies, but Nicki Minaj said her experiences as an immigrant influenced her support, adding that she believes Trump is divinely protected despite opposition. And that's it on entertainment news. Best Orator reporting for Beetv News.
And that's the end of our news update. Stay tuned at 6 for our major news. Thanks for joining. Bye for now. I am Ruth Obodo.